I'm very happy to see you today at GoDaddy Pro EMEA Meetup. Today is 25th of October, and we have a very interesting topic for tonight. It's going to be a social chat, social business chat. Today we have also our friends here and very often visitors of our show who are today with us, Jeffrey and Meher. Hi, Meher, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing well.
And you, Jeffrey, how are you?
I'm doing well.
You're well. I don't hear you very well, to be honest with you, but maybe it's just with me thing.
Okay, is that any better?
No, I can barely hear you. And even Meher cannot hear you as well. So, well, plenty of time if you can see what's wrong with the mic, but plenty of time to talk more on the topics. So before actually we run into and open some serious discussions, Meher, tell me please your experience with the page builder last week. How was it?
It was very nice. I had attended the previous as well. I think from season one I've been attending. So very informative, very helpful sessions.
Mm-hmm. And also, you were part of a panel, right, of GoDaddy Pro panel on WooCommerce on how to keep how to keep your store online store actually in line with season's requirements. So how did that go? I mean, who was there with you? Ronald, Giselle, right?
Giselle, Adam was facilitating it, and
And Marcus, right?
Marcus.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm so happy that that panel happened because I think you guys shared a lot of interesting information, and recommendations how to keep the store up to date with all the plugins and make a backup and all of those things. Jeffrey, have you had time to visit the Page Builder Summit? Hmm, I don't hear you. I don't know if you're talking something, so I don't hear anything. Hmm. Hello, Shivam. Nice to see you again.
Hello.
We're just now talking about Page Builder Summit. Did you have time to visit Page Builder Summit this week?
No, sadly, no.
Sadly, no. Well, speaking of page builders, let me ask you guys, which page builder you're using?
Elementor.
Okay, one for Elementor, Meher.
I've been using multiple. I started from Visual Composer to Elementor to WP Bakery, now to Gutenberg. So I think the easiest for non-tech clients, which I find is either Elementor or Gutenberg.
And Jeffrey, do you use any page builders yourself? I don't hear. I think you're muted. I think you're muted now.
Elementor? Can you hear that?
I can't hear you at all. I can't. I mean, I can hear something very, very, but no, doesn't matter. Before you fix,
In the chat, he said Elementor.
oh, Elementor, but I don't. So for some reason, the chat is not refreshing for me. So I'm sorry, guys, if I miss anything. All right. So we have two. Actually, we have three Elementors plus others because you represent many of them. So Elementor one in this case. Me too. Myself for my website, I use Elementor, but I'm totally in love with Stackable.
Oh,
After
Stackable is pretty nice.
I totally lost my mind. This guy who was having this presentation at that page builder, I don't know if it's the software or it's his way how he was presenting the abilities of Stackable, but that's like the ultimate version for me. What do you guys think?
Yeah, Stackable is pretty nice. I've seen it uh, before. I sadly wasn't able to attend the Page Builder conference, but yeah, Stackable is pretty nice. It has really good feature for Gutenberg. Especially, it works well with Gutenberg. So yeah.
Yes, and does that mean that for one day from Elementary you will move to Gutenberg?
Gutenberg is improving really well, and so I don't think I'll be moving completely away from Elementor, because Elementor is also improving day by day. You know, it's adding new features, a lot of things. But depending on use case, because Gutenberg is native, and it can be used, it's much faster than Elementor as well in a lot of places. But customization wise, a lot of things Elementor is really good as well.
What do you think, Meher? Are you ready to switch to Gutenberg like 100%? Unmute.
Depends. If the customization of the site is not that complex and the hoster can support it, sorry, and the hoster cannot support Elementor because Elementor is a bit heavy at times for some hosting companies. So any
It
day,
depends.
I
If
think
you're
last
hosting,
year.
sorry,
Go
you
ahead.
continue. I'll finish after that. Yeah, continue.
Last month only I finished the website for Gutenberg entirely, and for Stackable, I've just started exploring that for a current project. So still to get my hands around that.
It's I don't know if Jeffrey used it or not, but I mean Stackable. I think it's so. What now? I would switch tomorrow to Stackable. Maybe maybe it was just a good marketing story for me that I just followed, and they have a followers for sure on my end. Speaking of different builders, how do you guys actually? I mean, learning how to make pages in new builders or maintaining websites that are made in other builders and stuff like that. I mean, how do you find time to actually do
Sorry.
the actual work and then to learn something as well?
For me, each project has a different page builder. So I have a rough idea, being a fan of Visual Composer. I had an idea how uh, how uh, page builders work. So the other page builders was quite simple for me to learn.
But is it like is it time consuming? I mean, new knowledge always takes a lot of time that you have to invest. And then, let's say if you are a freelancer, then most of the time you want to commit actually to the work. You don't want to learn something new because you don't have time. You have code to finish and stuff like that. So, how do you weight this learning versus working time that you want to spend actually working?
Actually, do based on the market. If the market of the people are asking for Elementor and there's a huge demand, then investing your time in something which has a good market share is advisable.
Very interesting. Larissa, how about you? How do you dedicate time for learning? I mean, how do you distribute learning and working process?
Hi, Mahia. What I came in the middle. What were you talking about, or what question were you answering?
We were talking about committing time to learning. I mean, web industry is developing fast, right? So you need to commit some time to learning also, not only to working. And if you want to work, then actually you're missing time on learning, and new things are changing and happening. So how much time, for instance, you try to learn a week or read more about the topic that you work on?
Maya.
Hey. I believe you must have not heard. But basically, we're talking about how much time do you spend learning at work? I mean, constantly, like 2 hours a day, maybe 1 hour a day, maybe 3 hours over weekends. I mean, how do you refresh your knowledge?
I usually refresh my knowledge on weekends because that time I have told clients that I'm off work. So even if I have any projects, I commit to certain times and then I try and see what is new in the industry, if I can play around with it, or if I can break my own site and get it up back.
Well, if you cannot break your own site, just invite me to the party. No worries. You will see breaking in a second.
Same here.
So we have two volunteers to help you out to learn. Shivam, I believe he is not here. I think that he's still on the phone, and I'm not sure about Jeffrey. So basically, another thing is how much. I mean, if you're a freelancer, Mehan, right? And Jeffrey works for, actually is representing webpage by Jove.com, that page. So he's representing this agency. So you guys are in WordPress, and apparently each of you have a different career path. But Mahir, you have chosen to be a freelancer. So how's the freelancing in WordPress going these days?
Freelancing is going well right now. It just depends upon which market you want to target. If you are planning to target international market, then you need to have a little tie-ups with people who outsource work or who know the industry there. At the moment, I am an expert in Codable, so I'm experiencing the international market once again. I had done it 15 years back. Then I went on to the full Indian market and now back to the international market.
So that's like a lot of movement left and right. But I'm very happy, and I congratulate you for being recognized as an expert. It's really awesome. I mean, now that you're like building your career as a solopreneur, um, and having in mind the economic situation, how does a freelancer plans his income and the way he will actually contribute in that sense to his life? How do you make plans financial? Because working on projects, it's kind of like hard to understand and estimate the cost and the profits.
I plan my thing in such a way that if I'm taking on a big project, what deadline they need and how fast they can get it done. If I can get it done before the deadline, my payments come earlier. If I cannot, then I take up small work in between so that the payment is constant. And then when the huge project gets completed, you get the lump sum amount of the huge project.
Nice.
It's always looking for new work.
Nice. Is it hard to be on a constant chase for new work?
Yes.
How do you do that? I mean, I'm sure it's very hard to land the first job, but I mean, even if you land a couple of jobs and still are struggling to find, so what do you do in order to find a job, or someone else actually finds the job for you?
Most of my projects in market are through word of mouth, because a lot of online Indian sites, they go to a very low extent. For me, feel that value worth the amount of efforts you put in to develop a website. If I spend 10 hours for a website and I don't even get X amount, I get zero amount, then might as well I just do it as a test project and as a give back to the community, one project for free. So I have to recognizing my value for time and trying to adjust and do that way.
Larissa, how about you? Do you how do you find projects? I mean, working in marketing, there's a lot of opportunity for marketing projects. So your projects are kind of more creative, right?
Sure, marketing projects are more creative. So I haven't been on the freelancing journey yet, but I understand, I guess, the challenges are similar, and no matter what kind of freelancer you are, like you say, budgeting, constantly looking for work, you want to look for recurring revenue or like predictable revenue somehow, and that's always a big challenge. So yeah, for sure.
So would you feel like safe if you were a freelancer?
I think you have to have a certain temperament and like non-risk aversion. And I feel like I'm not a big risk taker, but that could change. I think, a lot of people successfully transition into marketing consulting, which is basically freelancing. So I don't see it yet as an attractive option for me, but that could definitely change.
Well, now that you mention marketing skills, I've noticed that a number of WordPress designers and developers are looking for marketing skills. First, to market themselves, and then second of all, to help their clients achieve better online results. So how can we learn from each other from this point of view? How can we actually put this, let's say, marketing into online workable website marketing? Is there any connection there? Have you guys thought of that? How to translate the wishes of consumers in a form of a website? Just recently, I've been reading a number of studies these days relevant to web design and what is the best user experience. And then a number of those websites would recommend colors or position the logo in this place or whatever. But basically, it's very strange. And if we take this as a suggestion, then you would have a copy of like tens of thousands very similar websites, because this is what the research looks like. But then it's not like that. It's very kind of strange that people have different reactions. What do you guys, for instance, like? What's your first motivation to stay on someone's website? Is it the colors? Is it the loading time? Is it perhaps the content? Is it the type of font that it's readable for you? I have, for instance, issues with fonts like Times New Roman or anything that's italic. I cannot read it for some reason. I don't know why. It just gets blurry for me. So all these, even the accessibility, what is the most important part for you when you come, let's say, to an e-com website?
It is, if the font is too small, either I have to increase the font on my site, and I'll increase it only if the content attracts me. And the content has to go with some visuals. If it's only content, then I don't read much because I need a change. I need some kind of a change.
Correct. Shivam is still not here. Larissa?
Think so. Of course, I'm a marketer, so I'm going to say the marketing thing. But if you can't tell what a website does within like 3 seconds, or like what they offer within like 3 seconds of viewing that website, for me, it's like there are some websites, they're very beautiful, they have a good user experience. You cannot tell like what exactly they're doing or what they're selling. So I think having that unique selling proposition above the fold, as soon as the website loads, I think having it load fast, it definitely is a factor as well. But you have to understand like what exactly it is they're selling, and like what makes them unique as soon as that web page loads.
I think this hits the target. I believe Jeffrey, I don't know if Jeffrey can talk to us. If he was able to fix the mic, but this is spot on totally. That's like my same analogy, how I choose the websites, because if I'm not able, even on mobile, where actually it's a very short span of attention, in addition to everything being very small and cluttered, and if I'm not able to understand there, or if the navigation has an issue, or if I press somewhere, or pop-ups, pop-ups on mobiles, I believe I would really urge everyone not to make pop-ups on mobiles. To close the whole the window, that experience is just not working. And are you guys preparing for your shopping season? Do you have this habit of buying technical stuff, or I don't know, appliances in November during the shopping spree? Meher, what's the situation in India? Do you guys observe the same holidays like in US? Do you have the same type of marketing, or?
Have the same holidays, but our Indian holidays are almost clashing with US. So we've already started our holiday season months back, but the main festivals like Diwali, Dasera have started. So that is where people buy equipment, or people buy gold, or people buy good dresses, or it's like a good luck for them.
And how does it work now in post-corona time? Is it like, do people shop online in India more than before, or still? Hey, Shiva.
Sorry, yeah.
No issue at all. Say, Meher.
And I think everyone's gone back to buying from stores, but the youth still buy online.
Hmm. That's very interesting. We're
Yeah,
talking
actually,
about
the
shopping
campaign
habits in India, please.
the campaigns which are going on, a lot of people are focusing on offline buying because the offline retailers weren't able to sell much. But the thing is, people are buying offline as is online right now, and a lot of people are moving online as well. Like a lot of people who used to sell offline are moving online. So yeah, that is there.
But is the cover? I mean, does everybody? I mean, not everybody. What's the percentage of internet being used in India? I mean, do like in I mean, I'm sure big cities have internet, and these people actually can find their way around online, or not? Am I wrong?
Yeah, so big cities have internet, good penetration. Even the villages have internet penetration now, especially after Geo. If I don't know if you've heard about Geo. So after, especially after the internet penetration has improved tremendously all over India. Even like the remotest village has a better internet penetration now.
That's awesome.
I think a lot of people know Amazon. Like Amazon is very easy and very basic to, buy stuff from.
True.
I'm banned from Amazon, so I don't know how that looks. So, and they don't want to whitelist me for some reason because of its automatic thing. So I'm sorry that I'm gonna miss that shopping experience. I hope it's going to be fine. But I'm good at eBay, so that's working so far.
So,
Um,
I
yes,
wanted to know something. I
please.
had Ms. Bim. So, what hosting are you using with your what do you call page builder? You know,
All of us or just me?
all of everyone.
Okay, I'll do the last because I'm the host. Uh,
Okay,
Jeffrey, maybe you can write it for us in the chat because if we cannot hear you, can we hear you now?
Joffrey,
If you can
you're on
unmute
mute.
yourself.
You're on mute. Okay.
In the application. Sorry if we're actually messing your way around. Maybe you just want to listen to us,
No,
and
it's
that's
okay.
okay too. All right. So, Meher, what do you use for your hosting?
Hosting. I use
Which web server
GoDaddy.
are you?
I have
Web
a lot
server?
of hostings. I don't have
No, no.
one web server.
Apache, Nginx, Lightspeed. Which one?
Right now, Apache, few of my clients Apache and few of my clients Nginx.
Okay. Uh,
Larissa.
Larissa.
Larissa wouldn't have that issue, but let's hear.
I can answer until like what hosting I use. I also have a number of hostings, like different pages, but I guess the largest ones are 1&1, Ionos, and 1.com.
No, but what web server are they? Apache or Nginx, Lightspeed?
I think Nginx, but don't
Nginx.
I don't
I
quote.
think one and Apache, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Trust me here, don't trust.
That's okay.
Joffrey, what about you? What web servers are you using? And Larissa, what do you call, which page builder are you using? I know Meher, but I don't know which page builder are you using.
Elementor.
Elementor. Okay, awesome.
Yeah. Have you heard of Stackable? We were talking about Stackable.
It rings. I can't say I have a lot of brand awareness around
Listen,
it.
Shivam and I here, we're crazy about Stackable from
It is
recently.
it is pretty nice. Especially you see Gutenberg was like quite plain everything. You couldn't do much with it. But Stackable is adding a lot of stuff which you couldn't like it is making it like, all daz dazzy and all that, like a lot of stuff you can do on that now. Gutenberg, what you could do on Elementor and stuff.
But their version 3 has a little bugs in it.
Okay.
I like the version 2. I started with version 2 and then when I upgraded, I found 3 to be a little difficult than 2. And
Okay.
also the options in 3 are much lesser.
Really?
Maybe it's just come out. So,
Uh,
like the free options, the
Free, okay.
the free templates and all are much lesser than the 2.
Okay. I don't know. But they have a lot of stuff which is there, which you could okay, custom blocks, free. Let's see. Okay, yeah. Ready-made blog design. Free one has 89. Premium has 355. Okay,
What?
coming back.
The version 2?
It's on the feature list. Pricing they have mentioned. They haven't mentioned which version.
Because
It
I
was
have it
latest version.
live on a site right now which I'm developing, and version 3 has like
It
a
must be the
lot of
latest version
options
only.
enter it. I don't know. I have to check the site. I've not checked the site, but what I'm using is the version 3, and I've seen a lot of options from 2 has been disappeared. So
Okay, got it. So yeah, coming back to this hosting one, you guys should try Lights. Okay, Maja, like what web server are you using?
I'm using GoDaddy hosting, and then I'm not.
Okay, yeah, we are on GoDaddy. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, look, I'm using their managed WordPress hosting, and it's quite good. I'm quite happy. It works fine. I mean, I don't have a very heavy website. I have a blog, so it's not that, how to say, it's not. It doesn't require a very technical components, but for me it's fine. I mean, it depends on the needs. I've seen, I don't know how many. I mean, are you Shivam, are you a page builder? I mean, are you a web developer or designer?
Yes.
You are.
Yes, web developer.
Has the number of requests to build the web designs for different companies increased for you in the past 6 months, or it has decreased?
Uh, so most of the clients I get is from word of mouth because my client referred to other people and so on. Uh, it is like constant, like a stream of people I keep getting, and I choose and pick and choose. So unless I'm getting in a huge amount of traffic for a certain amount of work, I can't tell if it's decrease or increase because like it's word of mouth, right? Sometimes
Mm-hmm.
it's like a bit more, sometimes it's a bit less, and depending
Mm-hmm.
on your client referring who to who.
Are you a solopreneur? Do you have an agency,
No, no, no.
or?
I have a team. I have a team. I have
That's
a
amazing. That's amazing. And how are you? I mean, do you work as a subcontractor perhaps to some agencies or whatever?
I have done that. I have done that. But overall, it's like a up and down experience. Some agencies are good to work with, some are not.
Mhm. And do you also offer another stream of income, like website maintenance to those
Yes,
people
we
that
provide
you? Mhm.
what do you call WordPress care packages and WooCommerce care packages.
Okay,
So we
and
try to pay what do you call direct clients as well as other agencies and freelancers and so on.
nice.
And we
And
also provide one more thing is security optimization and performance optimization, which is like really few people are in India or worldwide are taking care of, because a lot of people don't take care of security and performance of websites, and we specialize in that, how to improve the performance and security of websites.
that's amazing. No, actually, I think that security is a hot topic for any web developer or designer. I mean, it's an extra knowledge that you really have to have. So, how do you offer it as a part of the care plan, or you just offer it as a separate one?
So it's both. It's a one-time thing as well as a care plan as well. So if you're taking the care plan, depending if you don't require that much, we in the highest plan we have, we do security updates and security settings and so on. But if it's a major loopholes and stuff, then we suggest going for the one time and then going for the care plan.
That's amazing. Meher, what about your clients? Do you, after finishing the website for them, do you offer care plans?
Yes, definitely. That's like the go-to thing, like care plan is because you would want a recurring MRR, recurring MMR, monthly recurring revenue, MRR.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Larissa, I don't know if you're doing website management, maintenance, but what about you, Meher? Do you offer care plans?
I do offer care plans, but it also depends. Like if it likes the site and not going to change it for another 6 months, they usually don't. But if the client is an e-commerce site and they just want to manage advertisements and get customers to the site, I offer care plans, and usually it goes on for a year or two till the website is there.
All right. And what about automation tools? I mean, if you take much more, let's say now you have built one website and then perhaps you get this website on a maintenance, and then the second website, and then you have perhaps two websites for maintenance, and then client reports and all of this. Do you use some tools like to communicate with clients your effectiveness throughout the month, how much you spend time working on their cases? What program do you use for automation and website management? Shivam, do you
I use GoDaddy Pro.
the pro sites, right?
Yeah, Pro site. I don't like the new one though. The new one which came out. What do you
The
call?
hub, the hub.
Yeah, the hub. I don't. There are few things good about it and few things bad about it.
It's still in the progress. Yeah, it's still
Yeah,
under development.
the ease of use GoDaddy Pro is much better than the hub right now. Like uh, you know, going through the whole UI UX in terms of the use flow, it's much faster to manage the website in Pro versus the hub.
Yes, I agree. It's there are some steps being taken care just to reduce the flow, because the flow is kind of complicated. And
Yes.
we already have. I'm also using ProSite, so I also have. For me, it's a dashboard where I see all the relevant. When I put on
Yeah,
the home.
there are so many sites you imagine you need it in one place. It's like
Yeah, you need it, and nicely, beautifully, so I can even switch off the ones that I don't need and whatever. So that.
and the thing is, the hub has one thing really good, which I really liked was bulk install plugins.
That's really cool, right? That
Yeah,
saves a lot of
that is
time.
one thing I loved about the hub was bulk install plugins. Like through a zip file or through so on. You can bulk install in multiple websites.
And did you try in ProSite's safe update?
Yeah, I do safe updates only.
Oh, you do only safe updates, and do you
No, like
also
not
need to?
always, depending on if some clients has taken a care package or what is it. So what level of care package they have taken, depending on that.
All right. So do you use the visual comparison tool as well
Yes.
to see the best before? Look, for me, this is a mental health sign, okay? Because when I press update, I really don't know what's going to happen. But if you press the save update, then you're able to use to see the visual composer before and after, and that saves me from a lot of stress, a lot of phone numbers crying to other people to help me out. What what has happened? I need some help down here. So that's what are, for instance, for you, like when you manage a website, what are for you must-have tools for site management?
Okay. Site management. Okay, so one is like the updates and the backups.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like, see, what I feel from GoDaddy Pro, whatever all of it has, that is required. Bulk plugin, what do you call installation,
Update.
deactivation, updation, backup, safe updates, performance check, security check, really important.
Security
Security
check.
check.
Yes.
Uh,
How about client reports? Do you use client reports?
Yeah, I do use client report. There are few things. For example, the monthly report you have to do it manually. Like it can do 30 days automatic, but monthly it can't do automatic. That is one cavity I feel is like lagging the report in GoDaddy Pro.
Nice. I agree with you. Well,
I never understood why. Like you can do 30 days, but why can't you do last month? Look, it's like
but it's just different people have. I mean, it would be nice if you can schedule it, like on this and
yeah, you
this.
can schedule. That's like the main thing. Like last month is like a period. Like it's 30 days or 31 days or 28 days for Feb or 29 days sometime. So you need like last month specifically because client want to see last month, not last 30 days. And it's like you have to manually do it. You can't schedule that or like schedule 30 days or weekly one.
Yeah,
So
I agree. I agree.
and
Don't see
one more
that.
thing which can
Say
be better was custom work. Like that is just too time consuming.
custom work.
Yeah, like
Okay.
adding custom work.
Mm-hmm.
So
Meher,
that would have been better.
sorry, but what do you mean exactly by custom work?
So you can like so in client report there's custom work tab where you can add custom work you have done on the website.
Mm-hmm.
So that
Custom development, which is not in the
which is not
official
part of
WordPress resource
automation of
repository,
pages.
or it's your own development. A person creates their own code and adds to the web.
Mm-hmm. And what about you, Meher? What is the most important tool for you when it comes to website
Hello.
management? Hi, Chris.
What are we
Hi,
doing?
Chris. Long time.
Long time. What are
Lovely
we
to
doing?
see you.
Are we answering questions?
Sure.
Answering questions and you're being recorded.
Oh, I'll put on my proper voice then. What questions are we answering, Mahir?
No, the last question that we had, first question was what was your favorite page builder in light of the last page builder summit? So what's your favorite page builder? Christopher.
Hello, can you hear me?
What's your favorite page builder? Us?
What's my favorite page builder?
Oh.
That's a tough question.
Don't tell me you have so many page builders you like.
I'm trying to not badmouth any of them.
No, we're talking. No, listen. Let me just give you a hint. Shivam and I were totally crazy about Stackable, so we.
Okay.
No, but I like Stackable, by the way, but I prefer Elementor right now.
I'd say ACF with flexible content fields and roll your own.
Okay, that's a warriors. That's how warriors do it. Shivam, what do you? Okay, let us guess. I would guess that it will be Elementor. Am I right?
He just said Elementor.
Who said?
Shivam. Am I missing something here?
I'm asking you.
Oh, me. Oh, my favorite. Me. You're asking me.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
ACF with flexible content fit. Does that is a page builder?
Not a page builder.
That's a page
Builder.
No.
That's not a regular page builder.
Wait, you don't use a page builder? Are you saying that?
Yes, the answer is he doesn't use a page builder. He customized.
I like to put ACF on. No, if you take ACF with their custom blocks and you put their flex and no, if you put their no, have you seen the flex content builder for ACF?
No.
Okay, so if you look at advanced custom fields, it has an option called flexible content, which has layout options. So in that case, you set up your layout options as individual blocks, and those are your modules or your elements that then you build your pages out using that.
Okay.
So you set up your own page builder for the site. So the customer has a nice, my generic problem with page builders is that they give the end client too much flexibility, mainly. So they go in and they poke at stuff and they break stuff and don't like that.
So Elementor has that option of switching off how much accessibility you give them.
So yeah, Gutenberg has something
User
similar.
Chris, I take offense to the fact that you don't want me to have flexibility of editing my own site.
Exactly.
I don't want you to have the flexibility because you have too much.
Don't we help them then?
Yes, I'm more than happy to help you, and I'll give you as much flexibility as I think you're capable of handling. It's the
Yes, Chris, you're digging the hole deep.
It's the how much you just. So my problem with page builders generically is overhead. So page builders tend to be very easy on the client, but they tend to have a lot of overhead. So you end up running into DOM depth, you end up running into unused JavaScript, unused CSS that ends up making the pages slow. And if you're going for high core web vital scores or high page speed scores, you're sacrificing potential rankings for potential keywords for flexibility on the end user for the client. Now, that's not to say, depending upon the budget of the client, it may be appropriate to use a page builder to mock something up or do a prototype or have something easily done. I can agree with that. The problem there you run into is how much flexibility do you or don't you give a customer? Customer's not an Elementor expert or Avada or Divi or WP Bakery or Beaver or whatever the flavor is nowadays. Gutenberg's decent. Gutenberg has some decent blocks out. Gutenberg across the board is quite decent. It's FSE is quite good. If you take a look at Seedler, it has a lot of underlying customizable options. Yeah, I'd say go with, if you're going to put a page builder in, you might as well use Gutenberg and just extend blocks out and put in the extra 2 or 3 blocks you need, and then it's
What about
longer term.
what about Oxygen?
It's the same as everything. They're all the same. They all have massive overhead is the problem. Because
No.
the problem with all page builders is that they're not, you have the approach where you try and build something and then take out what you don't need, but you end up having a massive toolbox and using just 2 screwdrivers, or you just have 2 screwdrivers that you then build with what you need to build into is the problem. Page builders are good. They're flexible. They do good prototyping. They're decent for most, they're decent for a lot of sites, a lot of customers. I don't disagree with them. They're definitely an approach to build. They make prototyping easy. They make front ending easy, but I also don't design. So I'm like the worst person to ask for this. Like I don't do any front end design. I get given a design, I implement design.
Do you sometimes disagree with the design you're supposed to implement? Do you fight for the rightness of design?
No, I don't care what it looks like. There's not my choice. I'm not a designer. That's not my forte. It's not my choice. I'll tell you if the design is going to functionally be bad for you. If you put it like this, you're going to have more JavaScript, which is heavier, which means you're going to load slower, which means you're going to complain to me about it. Or if you do this, you're missing H1s, or semantically this is incorrect, but how it looks, I don't care. It's not my problem. not my job, not my problem.
Yeah, I've seen many of websites like that, to be honest with you. What's your, for instance, we also had a question like, well, what is the most important thing for you when you first view a website? Like we were talking about colors, and we were talking about whether the content has properly been set, so you understand from the first 3 seconds where you are at and what you're doing there, or what's the trigger? Sorry? Speed.
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 How fast does it load? Does it feel snappy? Do animations feel smooth, or do they feel jagged? Is the user positive? Is my, like, how fast is it loading? Is the one for me usually. What it looks like, unless it's really bad. Each to their own, I suppose. It doesn't really matter, does it?
Sure. Larissa, you wanted to say something? No. All right. I think we discussed a number of interesting things. Would you guys want to play a Kahoot quiz?
Sure.
Always. Well, in this case, we will be finalizing the recording part because we don't really want to share who won this game. If you'd like to know, please join us. From now on, we'll have constantly the games coming up. And then in this regard, I see you then next Monday. And for all those who will be watching this recording, I hope you guys had a great time as we did. Thank you very much.